Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. I am continuing my must-dos at Disney, where I talk about a bunch of different things that I feel like I must do, or my trip just doesn't feel right. I feel like something's just been missing. So previously I did my must-do attractions per park. I also did my must-do food and snacks. And today I'm going to be doing my must-do shows and entertainment. And what I mean by shows and entertainment is not just the stage shows that are done at each of the parks, but also the entertainment, streetmosphere, whatever you want to call it, that happens around the parks in each park, because for some parks, I feel like they beat out some of the actual attraction shows. I'm also including, when I say shows, things like the movies at Epcot, things like some of the 3D theater experiences, so attractions that are actually sit and watch shows and not rides. So just to be clear on exactly what I mean by shows and entertainment, that's the gamut of everything. I feel like I'm super covered in cat hair right now, because I am. I've been holding my cat before I started recording, which was probably a really bad idea, especially when I'm wearing black. Alright, so let's get started, and I like to go through my parks by, the oldest ones to the newest ones. So we'll start with the Magic Kingdom. And the two shows and entertainment that I have to experience when I'm there is, first, the Dapper Dans. I love catching the Dapper Dans. And it's funny because I don't always plan my trip around it. I don't always look at the show times and the times that they're actually going to be out. I tend to, for some reason, walk into them quite a bit when I'm walking down Main Street, or if I'm in that first central area by the train station. I just really luck out when I catch these guys, but sometimes I will go out of my way to look at the times and see when I can find them, because I just think they're fantastic. Their colorful outfits and just their whole vibe, I just love the whole thing, so I try to catch a Dapper Dans every time I'm there. But the other show that I like is actually an attraction, and it is Philharmagic. And I feel like a lot of people overlook Philharmagic because there's so much other stuff to do at Magic Kingdom, and I agree, and it doesn't normally have very long of a line, so maybe people think like it's not that popular, but I'm a big lover of Philharmagic. I wish that they would update the screen, because I do think that now it's a bit dated, and there's definitely certain scenes that get me a little bit cross-eyed, and that happens when screens are old and dated and the projection isn't as clear as it used to be. So it'd be really cool if they could work on a refurb for that. But I love Philharmagic because, one, it's Donald, and you guys know I love Donald, and he really is the star of that show. And also, it's like a very emotional show, at least for me. I mean, it really goes through the classics that I grew up with as a kid, going through The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Peter Pan. It's just everything that I grew up with as a child, and I get pretty emotional towards the end, especially the Peter Pan scene, because it just kind of hits me in the feels, And I think it's just a really beautiful show, and I super enjoy it, so I try to make the time to go, which isn't that hard because, like I said, there's never really a long wait. For Epcot, there is a lot of entertainment, and there are two that I specifically love, but I don't want to discount any of the other entertainment around the countries because I think they're really great. So I don't want to say that because I love these two that the other ones aren't as great. But my favorite two things to catch when I'm there is Voices of Liberty, which are just, I don't know, absolutely amazing. Like, I can't even believe the voices on these people, that come out of them, and that they sing in the American Pavilion, in the building where American Adventure is, which has these amazing acoustics. So you get to go and see them perform these old-timey American songs, some that you might know, some that they aren't really that popular or well-known, which is what I like. That's a big thing of what they do, is they dig into the history of music in America, and they pull out some songs that people don't generally really know well, and they kind of bring them back and they sing them, and I think it's great. And the second thing that I love to catch, and this is over in Future World, is the Geometers. They are so good, and again, these are some of the same guys. I think I've only seen one in particular that switches out, so again, familiar faces, which is great, and they are so fantastic. And I think I love them because when I was younger, I wanted to be a drummer, and my parents were like, hell no, we're not putting a drum set in our house. So that dream disappeared. But I love drummers. I'm just so in awe of their dexterity, and these guys are fantastic. They always have a part of the show where they each do a solo, and they're just really, really good. And again, it's a lot of like audience interaction, and they're a blast. So I love checking out both of those things when I was at Epcot. You might be surprised I didn't see any of the movies. I'm not really big on the country movies. I think they're fine. Like, they're fine for like a break, but I don't make the time out to watch them. Going over to Hollywood Studios, where you actually have a lot of stage shows. That's always kind of been a thing for them over there, and it makes sense. It's Hollywood Studios. But there is one in particular that I really love, and I wouldn't say I've caught it every trip, but I'd probably say that 80 to 85% of the time I catch this, and it's Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. Because I'm a big action movie junkie. I'm really nostalgic for Indiana Jones. I just love the show. I know it's getting dated, and I'm totally okay with them replacing it eventually. I'm not gonna like hold on to it forever. But it is such a good show, and it's really stood the test of time. It's interesting because we've had other like action-y amphitheater shows there that have not done quite as well. I'm looking at you, Lights, Motors, Action. And they've come and gone in the time that Indiana Jones has just still been there. I think Indiana Jones is a character that a lot of people love. I think that the action and the stunts that they do at the show are great. They have a lot of classic scenes from the movies that are played out. And I will never get over the little like joke that they have with the fake tourist guy who's really in on the whole thing. Like, to me, that's just, I don't know. I love it. It gets me every time. So I'm a big fan of it. I'm still trying to be an extra. Like, I've never done it before. But one day I'm gonna get on that stage and watch. It's gonna happen on like a solo trip, and so nobody's gonna record it and no one will ever believe me. Also, it's kind of grown on me, but I do like the Star Wars stage show. It's called Star Wars: A Galaxy Far, Far Away, and I like it. I understand why it's there. I mean, it's not just there because everyone loves Star Wars, and that's great, but it's also kind of there to slow down crowds like every hour or so. It's really smart what they've done. But I really like it. I like Star Wars, so hey, you know, that already appeals to me. I like that they keep changing it up. Like, with each new movie that's come out, they're like adding in more music, a little more scenes. They've added in an extra character or two. It'll be interesting to see if that happens with the next iteration, the next episode. So I like that they keep adding to it to make it as complete as possible. But I really love it. I think it's really neat, and when I'm with other people, I don't generally stop because they usually want to go do something else. But when I'm by myself, I do find myself stopping to watch the show, and if you take the time to like get up to the front of the stage, it's really cool. You get some really, really cool like views and photos and all of that. And then Animal Kingdom, for me, the must-see is Festival of the Lion King. I really enjoy this show. It is bright and bold and beautiful. I love the costumes. I love the music. I love, again, the audience interaction. I guess that's a big thing for me. I'm seeing that that's a thread. I like when I get to interact with things. It's funny because I finally saw Nemo for the first time on my last trip, which you probably saw recently in my vlogs, and so I thought like maybe it was going to overtake Lion King as like the thing I must see. And don't get me wrong, I think it's a fantastic show. I just think it is a little long at 40 minutes, and I don't know if I would want to see it every single time that I go, but I feel like the Lion King, I don't know, there's something about it that's like really upbeat and really fun, and you can't go wrong with some like fire dancers and all of that good stuff. So yeah, the Festival of the Lion King is like the key thing I want to see when I'm there. I feel like that's kind of it for Animal Kingdom. It's just really the one thing, but I do try to plan my day around it. So those are my must-see shows and entertainment. Again, this is kind of like a bigger blanketed term because it's covering a lot of different things. But now that you know what my definition of that is, I would love to know what your must-see shows and entertainment are. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, then you should subscribe because I'm making videos every single week. And it's a blast hanging out with you guys. I love it. So thank you for coming. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new here, thank you for joining me for the first time ever. Welcome. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.